Hey everyone, so I thought I would do a random, boring Friday night video while I have a chance here real quick. I know I had done a very long time ago a video on YouTube about books that I liked and actually ran over and I had to do a second video. And I'm looking at my bookshelf now and as you can see it's loaded with books and I still have books, out in the garage and everything and a tote and everything and just other books here and there. But I wanted to actually showcase some of my favorite books. Now, obviously, like I said, I have a lot, plus I already have, self-published 6 of my own. But I wanted to touch on some of the books and everything that helped me to be able to, to help me to become a writer. Because you don't usually just start out with that. You usually have somebody that inspires you or usually like books that help you to learn about if you write like in a mystery genre, you probably read a lot of mystery books and everything, and it also helps you to learn about, like building characters and with words and stuff. I wanted to showcase, these are all, and it's going to be hard with the way I have the camera set up, but these are all my Dr. Seuss books. This Green Eggs and Ham one here is actually my sister's. I don't have my own copy of that, but I mean, these books that you see besides the Green Eggs and Ham and Are You My Mother, they don't count because I don't think they're as old. But the rest of them are actually the books that my sister and I had when we were younger. These are the books and everything that my mother read to us before we went to bed every night and everything, or before we went to sleep and everything. And my mother did that. And a lot of parents, I guess anymore, from what I've heard of different ones that I know of, don't read to their kids anymore, and it's really sad. But these are the books, and I really credit Dr. Seuss, for a lot of what I do, especially, where the poetry and that's concerned with the rhyming and that. And it just really builds, an awful lot for a child to want to read. It makes you want to read the books and everything. It makes you want to possibly maybe write some of your own. And it's very inspiring. I'd also like to point out, Left Behind was actually the first book, and it's actually the only book that I've ever read that went over 1,000 pages. Now, I haven't read this in a long time, but I think for anybody that's read this, isn't there like over 3,000? I know it doesn't sound good, but like you guys know my stuff's raw, so like I said, just basically I'm just grabbing stuff. The book Marley and Me by John Grogan is another one that I like. I have a hard time watching the movie and everything. I've only actually watched it once during because I have it during I watched it once, and I turn around and it's just it's too emotional for me, but I really do like the story itself and everything. This is one of my favorite authors here where poetry is concerned, is Emily Dickinson. This was actually for my birthday, the one year my grandparents actually got this for me as a gift, and I love it. I really do. One of the things that I wanted to point out is I also have old school books, and these obviously are not the only ones that I have. I have some older ones at my grandparents' house. I have like spelling books and that. The elementary algebra is actually what I used for homeschool, and so was the geometry. The SAT book didn't really come in handy because I didn't actually do with the SATs, but I figured I was going to have to, so I had that. The Heath Grammar composition book I actually took from down at the Cameron County Christian Center and everything. It used to be the old high school, and when we got to go through and we were touring it before they turned around and started doing a lot of changes and different things and everything down there, we got to go through it, and it was so nice. And I happened to find this, and I asked if I could have it, and it's pretty cool when you look at some of the signatures in there. And I don't know if she'll watch this or not, but Krista Lundberg, I will have to put you in here and everything so you can see this. I don't know, I only know Dustin Smith, I know him and everything, but they're the only two that I know, and I don't think I have that totaled right, but Krista and everything, 96, 97, and she had new in there, so that's pretty cool. And then obviously I like my Harlequin Intrigues. I always talk about the purple books, and you can see, from looking at these, like I said, this is hard to get a good angle. These are my favorites. The purple books and everything, this color purple, and they're awesome. I love a good story like that. I also like books, you know, on the books about the Holocaust and everything. I love stuff like that. I find them very fascinating. It's nice to be able to read about that. Now, obviously, I don't get into all kinds of different stuff where history is concerned. I'm really not into history, but I do like the Holocaust. I have the Anne Frank and everything. I have a very small, a very, very small collection. I don't want to lead anybody on, but a very small collection about Anne Frank and everything. I just find her story fascinating. Reading her book was very trying for me. It was very emotional, but it was also very inspiring, hearing what she did as a young girl. Late at Night by Rick Springfield is amazing. Rick Springfield is one of these people that he's so amazing because he doesn't just have to do music. It's like if he gave up his music career right now, he could still make a life as a writer. He really is a great writer, and I don't want to knock Steven Tyler because I have his book too, but I have to tell you that Steven Tyler is not anywhere near as good of a writer as Rick Springfield is. And I'm not knocking Steven because I love Steven Tyler. I love Aerosmith. And Steven Tyler, you know, is a very good lyricist in that and everything. And he's good at what he does and everything, but he's not as good when it comes to writing stuff the way that Rick is and everything. And I really enjoy Rick, and I would love to own more of his work because I know he was working on another book. It's not out yet, but I would love to own it because, like I said, he's just amazing. I have a book here, you know, going on where, like, with the Holocaust and that is concerned, called Hitler's Daughter. A very, very good book. Like I said, I love to read stuff like that. But then, you know, I also, and like I said, I'm trying to make a quick thing out of this because my mom's actually going to be home here soon and everything, and I don't like to record when she's here just because, I don't know, I'm always afraid she's going to talk and that, and I get a little bit nervous. So, anyway, does anybody remember, and I doubt that you do, because I don't know how many people have actually read this. We actually had where you could order books in school. I don't know if they still do book order forms or not, but they were the greatest thing ever. I loved it. I lived for the day that we got the order forms and everything, and we got to order books. I loved it. I tried to never miss a time with that. There's the turkey that ate my father, and the Easter bunny that ate my sister, the jack-o'-lantern that ate my brother, the Christmas tree that ate my mother, and everything by Dean Marney. These books are awesome. It also proves everything that I like to read stuff with a sense of humor. I like to read books about dogs and everything, as you know, the Marley and Me puts it, pretty much everything puts into perspective there and everything, but I really like to read books about dogs. I find them to be, you know, humorous, everything, but touching, and they're just very nice, and they show the companionship between a dog and their owner. I also wanted to touch on, I have a collection, you know, of the Babysitter Club books and everything. I read the Babysitter Club books and everything and got really into that. I was a part of that. I also I have a big collection. I was trying to collect all of them. I'm still a couple books shy. Lurleen McDaniel. And these are just the books and everything that she wrote, you know, the older books, not any of the newer stuff that she's wrote. I'm really not interested in that, but just to be able to, because I have some collections collections, everything like sets and everything, or trilogies and stuff like that of hers that I haven't been able to complete, and I actually have books where I think I can't even read like one of them because I need to read the one that comes before it first. So, but I really love Lurleen McDaniel and everything. I find her fascinating. I actually, you know, follow her on Facebook and everything. She's very, very talented. I have the story of Helen Keller. I have like 2 books about her. I have a very old one and everything that's about Heathcliff and everything, some kind of story. The last lecture. The last lecture, very, very good. I highly recommend it. Very good story. I like stuff like that, you know, things that have meaning. And I mean, not every book that you ever read in your life has to have meaning. It's nice to read, you know, like I said, fun-loving stuff like that and everything, because life really is taken too seriously. But it's also nice, you know, to read stuff like that, and especially with something where someone is in like their final moments and everything, like the final months of life. It's something to see what people have to say and everything, and it's very inspiring, and it's just something to think that somebody would do that, you know. It's pretty cool. And I mean, my stuff goes down. I mean, I have Joyce Meyer, The Root of Rejection. I really like Joyce Meyer, you know. I recommend checking her out and everything. If you are a Christian, you want to learn about Christianity. If you're struggling, if you just need a word of encouragement where that's concerned and everything, Joyce is amazing. Digby Takes Charge by Carolyn Jane Church. This was actually in a box of Cheerios, I think. I think it was Honey Nut Cheerios. And you turn around and they had all these different books and everything they were featuring, and I had one I wanted to get because I'm one of these ones that I still like to get every now and again, get cereal that has a toy in it, because like I said, I love that. And when I saw that they were doing books, even though they're children's books, I said, you know, this is awesome. I love it. I think they should do more things with books. let's see, I'm actually looking at books and everything that I did, older books, and like I was younger than that. I don't want to touch on any of that because that's getting away from what I want to do. Max Lucado, anything by Max Lucado. Max Lucado, you know, he's a genius. Everything. He's one of these people that I honestly believe that, like, he could write, you know, just anything. Everything that he writes is so good, and I just think he would be hard pressed to find a book that wasn't, you know, any good. Briar Rose by Jane Yolen is really good. I have Winnie the Pooh. We've got the Lottery Rose by Irene Hunt. Irene Hunt is another awesome author and everything. Jade Green by Phyllis Reynolds Naylor. Phyllis Reynolds Naylor is really good. I remember Jade. See, I'm in such a hurry and everything, I can't talk. Jade Green, A Ghost Story is really good. When I actually read that, I remember in the old house where we lived, the room that my sister and I shared, looking from the bed and everything that we had, because we had bunk beds, and the closet was like right there. And it was so hard to sleep because I was just so afraid that there was somebody hiding in the closet. That book scared the crap out of me. S.E. Hinton and everything. The Outsiders. Love The Outsiders. The movie's really good. The book, The Outsiders, I highly recommend it. Let's see. What else do we have here? Very, very briefly. Lily's Crossing. They don't have, it's hard when it's not on the spine, and like I said, I'm trying to hurry. Lily's Crossing by Patricia Riley Giff is really good, and as you can see and everything, it got the Newbery Medal Award, and that's one thing that I always looked for and everything. I mean, when I was going through looking at the book order forms, was anything that had an award on it, because you knew and everything that it was so much more if it had an award on it. It was really good. Shiloh and everything, again, you know, Phyllis Reynolds Naylor and everything. I have the Shiloh movies, actually. I have the collection and everything. Very, very, very good. Let's see. I mean, there's so many good books and everything, and I know obviously and everything that I have a very, you know, maybe limited sense on things compared to what other people may read, but I really like it. Like the Crossroads here. I mean, you start out with The Shack by W.M. Paul Young, and you turn around, and then once you read that, you go out and you say, okay, hey, I see he has a new book out called Crossroads, and you get it. And I'm telling you, I highly recommend these books. These books are excellent. Of course, and like I said and everything, you got Anne Frank and everything, and it's like a very trying read, but it's also worth the read. Racing in the Rain, My Life as a Dog by Garth Stein and everything. Very, very good. Again, you know, a good dog book. I just have, like I said, I have a very interesting collection, you know, from your children's books, because I mean, I even have, for any of you old timers, on my list, I have The Real Mother Goose. And that's just, I mean, so I mean, I go from, you know, mystery books to light books, everything like the dog books and that, to deep books and everything. And then, you know, the ones and everything where it's like history and that and everything, where you have like the real, you know, real things and everything with Anne Frank and everything, real life stuff, to your fiction and that. And then, you know, I'm just all over the place, because we even have, you know, and I say we because these aren't just my, like, this set and everything, really, I mean, it is mine, but yet it could be, you know, like, if my sister wanted to come and take them, she could. Just different books, like, you know, Gulliver's Travels and everything, The Wind in the Willows, The Time Machine and stuff. I haven't read these books. I've had them for a long time. I can't remember if they had them in, like, down at DG or something. And we turned around and we went and we just got the whole series, because obviously you can't just have one or two of these books and everything. I mean, if it's a whole thing, you want to have all of them, even if the books, you know, technically aren't all related in with one another and everything, like a trilogy or whatever and everything. If it's a whole collection like that, you're best to have, you know, the whole collection. And, of course, one of the best books, you know, a very important book to turn around and everything and have and I've got it covered over with stuff here and everything. In my cover, and that is obviously the Word, the Holy Bible, and I'm finally, after all these years of not being able to read this book and everything, I'm finally able to read the book and everything and understand it a little bit better and everything. When I start again, I'll be on the Book of John. And what's so cool about this book is when you look on the inside of it, it's actually back in the day and everything down at the Cameron County Christian Center or church there. I turn around and they had the Stand Strong Ministries and everything, which is Dave and Marianne Hockey. They come in and everything for the reunion every year, and it's really awesome. And they actually gave me this Bible. This was my very first Bible that I ever had, you know, besides, you know, your children's Bible and that. And this was actually given to me back in 2000, so this year it's going to be 14 years old, which is amazing. And I'm still, you know, obviously very much connected to them, and I love them very much. And I got to get going here, but I just want you guys to know how much I love you. And like I said, I just wanted to kind of touch base because I don't do many videos on YouTube anymore, so this is going to hit, you know, both the YouTube and the Facebook. And sometimes I think and everything, maybe I should be one of those people and everything that goes into the auctions and everything and does it, because I can talk pretty fast, but it's really hard. So anyway, like I said, I love you guys. I hope that everybody has a great week, and I'm going to try to get this uploaded and everything as soon as I can. It may not, well, it's actually not going to be till tomorrow sometime and everything, but this was done Friday night. I just want to tell you guys again and everything how much I love you. Take care, everybody, and God bless. Mwah. Boo.